Alright, we're making tools today. I haven't done a video on the new anvil yet, but I suspect you're going to see one. But a couple of things that I need. I need a cutoff tool. The one I have for the small anvil doesn't fit the hardy hole. And I need a flat table, 90-degree table, radius table, something like that, so I can get my 90-degree cuts in when I need to. So anyway, a while ago I picked up this axle from junkyard. Figured it'd make a pretty good cutoff tool and table. It's got to be high carbon. So we're going to go ahead and throw that sucker in the forge and start making a tool, I hope. Well, I'll tell you one thing, if you don't think that stuff cuts hard, you're crazy. Freaking hard. Hard, hard, hard. Alright, this axle's up. Got a little color to it. I'm just going to go ahead and start putting my 4-ways in. Yeah. It's getting there. Alright, so I think I got enough of the taper done where I can start driving this thing down through the hole. Start sizing this up. Alright, with this heat, the tapered part that goes in the hardy hole, I'm going to quench that. I don't want that to drive in any farther. I'm trying to flatten out, the spot above it. So I'm going to go ahead and quench that before I forge it. Just a little bit. Keep the heat up there. There we go, now it's moving. Now we're getting a nice little ridge form there, so it's not bad at all. I think what's going on now is I'm getting way too much heat, so when I'm upsetting, it's upsetting not where I want. So I think it's time to cut this son of a bitch off, so that I can go ahead and bring it down, and then I'll bring it back up where I want. The hardy hole part looks good, but I'm just wasting too much heat here. So we're going to cut that off. Well, I'll tell you, sometimes it's easier to make a tool when you have a tool. So we're pulling out the old anvil. Good old Harbor Freight. Where I already have a cutoff tool because that grinder was just taking too much blade. We're going to cut it off with that and continue on. And we'll see how this goes. That's the way to do it. That's the way to do it. There she blows. Alright, now we got something we can work with. We'll go ahead and get that other end in the heat. And we'll get this sucker. That's what I got. I'm going to punch the bottom. Punch the top a little too, because I really don't want that deforming nearly as much. Set that sucker in there and we'll see what we end up with. we're getting close here on this thing. So that's not looking too bad. I think it's good enough for the grinder anyway. I think that's all we're going to get. I'm really disappointed with this, but what do you expect? There's enough steel there to hold it. We'll let that cool down on its own. We'll hit it with the grinder. Alright, we're going to go ahead and clean up the wedge here on the grinder. Alright, that's good enough for now. I'm going to go ahead and heat treat it, harden it up, and then we'll finish it up. We're ready to go. So I like to try to temper with the forge if I can, and I don't know, maybe it's a traditional thing, I'm not sure, but you see we got some heat going on there, a little bit of golden on its way up, so we're going to go ahead and let that soak for a minute till we get the golden up to the edge. Alright, we got our color all the way up to the brim here, so I'm just going to go ahead and quench that. Go ahead and quench that as it is. Try to lock that in. You can see or not, but we got a nice golden, almost blue to the top. And that's it. That's what I'm going to call hardened and tempered. Alrighty, here's the finished product. Nice little hardy tool. Might not be the best that you've seen, but you know what? I made the son of a bitch myself, and that's all that matters. Sucker goes in the hole, sits relatively solid, and it'll do some cutting, I guarantee it. Like that, fits like that just fine. It's awesome. It is a done deal. There you go, one cut off tool made out of truck axle. Probably the biggest piece of steel I've worked with so far.